From Canberra Stadium, it's the Canberra Raiders and the South Sydney Rabbitohs.
We are live around Australia on Main Event Channel, your service provider in conjunction with Fox Sports, delivering this special telecast on a Super Saturday that ends the race for the finals. But how it ends remains uncertain. The Canberra Raiders and Cronulla Sharks in Townsville are both alive, so too the West Tigers. It's a three-way battle for semi-final position number 8. In the national capital is the Raiders, who tonight farewell Ruben Wiki and Luke DeVico, up against the South Sydney Rabbitohs, who Gary Freeman are in a battle for the wooden spoon also.
With a bit of form, and I must say that they'll be looking to try and upset the Canberra side, because we do know now that after the Raiders game here tonight, if they win, they could actually get into the finals.
Let's take a look at the Rabbitohs side. Their back line is Bell, Wood, Enahoro, Martini. Brad Watts comes in for Wes Tillett, John Sutton and Joe Williams at halfback. The forward pack out as Scott Getty suspended, so Scott Logan is in his place. Walker, Stewart, Fletcher is your captain. Minicello and Harrison. The bench looks like this: Justin Smith, Willie Manu, Steve Skinnan and David Thompson. It is an outfit coached by interim coach, caretaker coach if you like, Arthur Katinas. That is the South Sydney dressing room on a cold night in the national capital. Here are the Canberra Raiders. They do know the scoreline from Energy Australia Stadium. They do know that their fate is very much in their own hands. Let's have a look at the side they will field for this round 26 clash. Shavosky, Chalk, Mogg, Monahan. Nathan Smith comes in for Phil Graham on the wing. The halves are Croker and Drew. The forward pack reads like this: Ryan O'Hara, Simon Wolford. Ruben Wiki has been shuffled from the second into the front row to accommodate Michael Hodgson, who partners Ian Hindmarsh and Tyron Smith as the back three. The interchange is Troy Thompson, Josh Miller, Terry Martin and Mark McLinden. Their coaches, of course, Matthew Elliott. Wayne Pearce, a huge night for the Raiders and the Raiders supporters who have come out en masse to farewell Luke DeVico and Ruben Wiki.
It certainly is. It's a major night of opportunity for them to leapfrog other teams into the finals. South Sydney, a big night for them as well, because they will be looking for a win to avoid the wooden spoon for the second year running.
And here come the Bunnies onto the Canberra Stadium. There is the captain, Brian Fletcher, has had an indifferent season on the field through injury, looking to finish on a positive. Joe Williams is out there, jersey number 7, a key element in South Sydney's campaign.
He is a key player and 21 years of age today, so he'll be looking for a huge party tonight to celebrate his 21st, plus he'll be hoping for a South Sydney victory. Instrumental player for South Sydney, played 14 games, well, this is his 14th game this season, and he's a player that will be conducting the attack as we see Ruben Wiki lead Canberra onto the field.
And here they come, the Canberra Raiders. And Ruben Wiki already out on the field with his 2 children, Denzel and Mackenzie. Gary Freeman, it's a man that you've known in international campaigns for some years. Luke DeVico is also there, and the big bloke would be an emotional wreck about now.
He certainly was a bit of an emotional wreck when he came into the ground around about an hour and a half ago. Luke DeVico, Ruben Wiki just shaking hands, wishing each other the best. And Ruben's certainly going to try and help his side win here tonight. The fans have turned up to wish him all the best. His mum's flown over from New Zealand along with parts of his family. That's Ruben Wiki's family, and it's great to see that they've come here to support him. Well, I wouldn't be surprised. There's a bit of a tear in the eye. He's played plenty of games, started back in 1993, 224 first-grade appearances, and look at that, 60 tries to go along next to his name there. Look, he's a champion. He's just been signed by the Warriors for 3 years. And a big loss for Canberra, but a massive boost for the Warriors.
Your referee for tonight's clash is Tony Archer, officiating his 78th first-grade game. Steve Carroll is our video ref. And we are underway in what could well be the decider in the Telstra NRL Premiership for 2004. South Sydney in the alternate away strip, running right to left for the opening 40 minutes.
2 hands away.
Canberra come into the contest with a less than impressive form line. 4 successive losses, the bye last week, and according to coach Matthew Elliott, the bye came at the perfect time. It has refreshed his outfit. Not so refreshed at the moment is Ashley Harrison, who has been a model of consistency for South Sydney. In fact, Junior, one of just 2 players to play in every game so far this year.
Yeah, he's been, I think, well, as he cops one touch higher there. Yep. But Ashley Harrison, in my opinion, has been the most consistent player for South Sydney this year. He leads their tackle count. He's made more line breaks than any other player in the competition, and he's one player that can keep his held very high, but very sick and sorry in the early stages. And South Sydney cannot afford him not to stay on the field.
I think you'll see that Wilford will be brought out here by the referee, Tony Archer, and the penalty will probably be given against him a fraction high. And if the video referee's got anything to do with it, once he gets up, it will be. He should be penalised for that tackle on Ashley Harrison.
Good numbers so far for this season for Ashley Harrison, just over 28 tackles a game, almost 12 hit-ups per game. And there's the shot in question.
It will be on report.
Simon Wolford just searching a little high.
Simon.
Let's head down to Tony Archer.
Mate, it's too high. Yeah. You got to keep him down. Yeah. Okay.
I did get him with me.
Yeah, that's all right. It's penalty though.
Yes,
okay. Yeah,
I did get him high, but I did get him with my shoulder, was the comment from Simon Wolford. Ashley Harrison coming from the field. The incident has been placed on report inside the opening 30 seconds.
And South Sydney take the opportunity to use a free interchange there. Ashley Harrison coming from the field as a result of foul play, so that doesn't count as an interchange. And I'm sure once he freshens up, he'll be back on the field. And Justin Smith is the replacement, experienced replacement to put on as well.
Certainly is the former Dragon. He's headed to North Queensland next year, Justin Smith. So would like to leave South Sydney on a positive note. Field position certainly with the visiting Rabbitohs. 3 tackles in the opening set before a piggybacking penalty downfield. Wiki goes charging in, looking to put a shot on Luke Stewart. He missed his mark. They go the short side. The number 4 is Joel Monahan. In fact, Shane Martini. Minicello. A lot of communication. You can hear the Raiders screaming at each other in the background. Williams gets a nice long ball out to Sutton. His pass ill-directed. Tackle number 4 for Souths. 10 again as Stewart. Very busy earlier. 3 hit-ups in the opening couple of minutes. They go to Williams on the last tackle. A grubber through. Pressure for Nathan Smith, who watches it into touch and goal, shows plenty of confidence and patience in doing so.
He did a good job there, Nathan Smith, just making sure that the ball was behind him and he could keep an eye on the defenders coming through at the same time. I like the way that Canberra started the game, very strong and solid in defence, but the South Sydney side are going to create some problems for them. They're going to use the ball 2 passes wide. I tell you what, there might be something said about this tackle too, just quietly.
Keep it down, mate.
Scotty Logan, in just his 2nd game since returning from the UK, the former Rooster, has searched a little high here. Haven't we seen some physical tackles and some big shots so far in this final round?
I think it's an indication of just how important this match is to both clubs. We've all talked about Canberra and their aspirations towards the finals with a win in this match, but South Sydney, it means a lot to them to avoid the wooden spoon as well, so they've come down here looking to go away with a win, and they'll accept nothing less.
Listen, it is. I've already told you, trainer, would you just calm your side down? Calm your side down. I know.
Surely you understand.
I understand that, but you've also got to control your side.
Set the tone,
Simon Wolford just questioning Tony Archer. Michael Hodgson, one of 5 former Eels, not quite certain if he's back at Parramatta Stadium or here at Canberra Stadium at the moment.
Scott Logan, tackles on report.
The incident has been placed on report, and as a result, exactly what South Sydney did, Junior. Raiders take the opportunity at a free interchange.
Well, it's only common sense to utilise that free interchange and freshen your player up, particularly if he has days. And Michael Hodgson still looks very, very groggy at the moment.
Ruben Wiki used as the decoy. They instead go with Ryan O'Hara, who was backslammed centre field. Smith in the tackle, so to Minicello. Drew at number 7 tonight. 10 is Troy Thompson, who was relegated from the starting side, but was forced only to sit through 2 minutes of action. On the bench, this is Wiki. The ball comes free, much to the disgust of the Raiders players, who are blowing up Deluxe.
Play on, he took his advantage.
And what's good for the goose is good for the other. The Raiders get the ball back. Ball security poor in the opening minutes. Across field, Wiki, nice run around with Mogg. Nowhere to go for the centre. He is tackled centre field. Tackle number 1, 11 metres out from the try line to Drew. Short ball to Smith. He lets the ball go. So errors are plenty in the opening 3 minutes.
I think that's what Canberra have got to guard against in this match. They know that if they win this match and win it comfortably, then that should see them into the top 8. But they can't afford to push the game. They've got to let the game unfold. They can't afford to push passes. If they do that, then South Sydney will get away with the game and they'll struggle to win the game.
Michael Hodgson, safety blanket in hand and just having a rest on the sideline for the moment. Tackled right on halfway is South Sydney. Heading back to the near side. 14 is Justin Smith.
Hands away. Short side.
Inside man is Minicello. Running the angle with Shane Walker out of dummy half. Last tackle. They go to Williams. Pressure applied by Mogg. A good kick nonetheless from the halfback. And taken well by Joel Monahan. Who seems to be early whiz, playing left wing, not left centre as we thought.
I think that's his best position, though, is on the wing, and I think he's been more devastating as a runner. He doesn't get himself involved in doing too much defence, and when he has an opportunity to take the ball forward, he's a big, big player. He's very hard to put on the ground.
Keep pedaling. Joe.
Troy Thompson, unmistakable in the black headgear. Good leg speed from Ryan O'Hara. Played representative footy this year. And you say this young man, Thompson's not too far from that level as well. Last tackle. To Drew they go. A nice attacking kick, putting pressure on Roy Bell, who fields the football back in his own in-goal area. Tries to duck under the tackle of Brad Drew and did so. Ian Hindmarsh there to take the fullback to the ground.
It was a good start for Roy Bell. A little bit of pressure being put on him over the last couple of weeks. He's come in the grade, only a small fullback. He tried then to try and pick out the player that was coming up a little bit quick and get in between them and get a quick play of the ball.
Heading up over the 30-metre line towards the 40, South Sydney. Through captain Fletcher. Offloads to Johnny Sutton. Local junior with enormous raps on him, this kid. Made his debut already 10 weeks ago. Good kick from Williams. The bounce is good for the Rabbitohs. It will be ideal, just a little too long. The chasing team was there. And we're ready to apply the pressure to Clinton Schifosky, but just a little too much on the boot.
Normally very accurate with his kicking game, Joe Williams. Tonight, first couple of kicks gone dead in goal. He'd be disappointed with that because they really need to put some pressure on, try and get some repeat sets on Canberra and have them under pressure coming off their line.
Go.
Here's Wiki. Mentioned that Ruben Wiki and Luke DeVico leaving the Raiders at the end of the season. So too Joel Monahan, who was headed to the Roosters as of 2:05. Croker gets the ball back into the fullback, Schifosky. They're not afraid to back themselves early in this contest. The Canberra Raiders, Woolford, outside the 40, looking for a territorial gain, and a gain just a little bit too big. Not a bad result. The Raiders' defensive line is able to gather on the 30.
It's strange that you feel the tension in both teams at the moment. Both teams not really into the flow of their game. They're playing disjointed. The kicking game's a bit long. They're pushing passes. They realise the pressure is quite huge on both teams, and they haven't really settled into their rhythm as yet.
Operating the far side. Nervous spectator, Luke DeVico tonight. The longest and most capped prop in Canberra Raiders history. Who's headed to the UK. Just short of halfway South Sydney. Tackle number 4. No score here at Canberra Stadium. Not yet anyway. Here goes Minicello. Changes the ball from right to left hand to get the fend onto Clinton Schifosky. The fullback did extremely well. This is Williams. The kick with perhaps a little bit too much on it. And didn't give his support players on the outside the opportunity to contest the football, but it was well taken by Joel Monaghan.
Yeah, great break there by Mark Minicello. That's where the South Sydney side are going to find some holes on either side of the ruck. The way that Canberra do defend, they play a very condensed line of defence. And if you get the ball 2 passes wide, they're going to create some problems for them.
4, short side.
Again, centre of the ruck.
Last one.
They don't play a flashy brand of football normally, the Canberra Raiders, as illustrated by their statistics so far this year. That, a lot better kick and wrong footing Roy Bell. But the Raiders have got the least handling errors and the 3rd best completion rate in the league, Junior, but only the 11th best ranking as far as points scored, illustrating, I guess, not a lot of variation in their attack.
Well, that's right. I mean, that's one of the criticisms that people have of the Canberra side, is that they play a little bit too conservative, hence their high completion rate and lack of handling errors. But where they've really struggled in attack is when they've been down in the opposition's 20-metre zone this year. Their inability to finish the play off with a try, their inability to get over the try line. They've scored plenty of long-range tries, but not enough when they get down into deep attacking zones.
Not a lot of fluency in the South Sydney game in the opening 9.5 minutes. Roy Bell gets a boot on it. Inside the 40, it goes nowhere near the touchline, and well fielded by Clinton Schifosky. Circles around Brian Fletcher. Runs into John Sutton, also there, the reliable Luke Stewart. And penalty Raiders inside the distance.
Right there. Get you, Mini. Let's go. Got to line up.
These penalties could have been a little bit earlier too. I'd say that on this left-hand side for the South Sydney team, you've got young Joe Williams. He stands aside all the time, and the touch is supposed to be marking the 10. He could have been penalised a lot earlier in this match. For Canberra now, they've got to try and promote the ball. They want to win this game. They want to get in the top 8. They've got an opportunity to do it. They've got a chance here, Arm.
22 metres out. This is Wolford. Inside man is Wiki. Bumps off one. Bumps 2. Wiki flicks it out the back and Thompson picks it up. Good run from the Kiwi international. Drew wide at first receiver. Find the inside man, and this time it was Ryan O'Hara. Slow play the ball, allowing South Sydney defensively to get back into order. Good hands shown by Drew. Croker trips on his way to the line, has another go at it. Desperation denying him. Wolford. Second man ball.
That's a great tackle by Minicello. Needed to be made.
30-metre gain, last tackle for the Raiders. Drew, inside man, and try! Canberra's first to score, and it is early advantage Raiders. Marshall Chalk, in only his second game, scoring try number 1.
And it was that zone where they often struggle to get over the try line, deep in the opposition's territory, back on the inside. Beautiful set play there. Brad Drew pops it inside for Marshall Chalk, who hits it at full speed and goes slicing through the hole.
Just defenders on the inside. We saw Minicello come off the line before, make a tremendous tackle. Then the inside ball, there's Minicello just coming in a little bit late. Roy Bell wasn't covering across at the same time, but Marshall Chalk, plenty of pace from the young fella. Great inside ball once again, and Canberra off to a good start.
And with Brad Drew, that's his first try for the season there, Marshall Chalk, and it was Brad Drew's ability to look on the outside, pop it blind back on the inside that caught the defenders short. It was great set play and perfect timing.
Clinton Schifosky to add the extras, and how crucial every one of these could well be tonight. Hasn't been a regular kicker for the Raiders this year. Struck this one, not well. Out to the left it goes. And the scoreline remains after 12.5 minutes. The Raiders 4, South Sydney 0.
And I think this is where the Raiders got to understand that South Sydney are playing their last game. If they could have another good shot at them and come up with a try early in the piece. Just watch how Drew goes across, the ball back inside. We've already just picked it up. Minicello just a little bit lazy in defence, the push up, because the line on the outside, well, the players on the outside have pushed up so quickly, left them behind.
We restart play. Okay, Ryan O'Hara, who has had a huge start to this contest, and is headed over the sideline, just held in, pushed in by a group of Raider mates. O'Hara already 8 hit-ups in the opening 14 minutes. Leads his nearest rival by at least 4.
And you just see now South Sydney playing very, very short. There's an extra 10 metres on the edges of the ruck. That's where Canberra really got to get to.
Smith got a good ball away to Jason Croker, who was pounced upon very quickly by Garth Wood. Chris Enahoro there as well. Thompson finds a charging Ruben Wiki. Defensively well read. Last tackle. Wolford ball in hand. Wolford spots an opening down the centre. Wolford keeps going. Gets the boot onto it. Drew is there. Picks up and claims the second.
That is the last tackle. Onside and grounding.
Plenty to look at.
Yeah, there is plenty to look at. I don't think he may have got the ball down. He looks back to his players. He's probably a little bit unsure himself, but great work by the hooker and captain. Wolford jumped out of dummy hour, saw there were some lazy markers. This is him going through the middle. This is where South have got to tidy up their front row. It's got to be a little bit tighter. Tremendous kick. I'd say he's onside. But does he get the ball down fairly? Ooh, that's very, very close, Junior.
No, he doesn't have the ball. That's definitely a knock on. Definitely a knock on there. So that will be no try, but it was great work back at the play the ball. No, he's definitely lost the ball there, and it was great work back at the play the ball by Simon Wolford. The markers split. They thought they were going to kick the ball on the last tackle, and good support play by Brad Drew.
Video referee is Steve Carroll. Not much of a decision to make. It will be no try. The score will remain 4-0, you would think. And the decision is Steve Carroll.
What's the ball in the field? It's a change over here, mate. Change over there.
And a good and relatively easy
Back
ruling.
where you are, Joe.
It was.
Away you go.
And it was the right decision. I think Canberra, they've just worked it out. They play them on the edges and get some quick play balls. It's going to allow Wolford out and make plenty of yards.
First of our legitimate interchanges has been made. Scott Logan has been given a rest. And onto the field for South Sydney comes this man in jersey number 20, David Thompson, who's certainly mid-season added some inspiration and some leadership and a little bit of muscle to this side. And for one reason or another was relegated back to the seconds over the last couple of weeks. Long ball, trying to get out on the outside of Nathan Smith. Unable to, South Sydney. And it is Canberra ball.
Yeah, and South's Shane Martini on that occasion trying to push the pass. They're going to be tempted to go wide because Canberra play a condensed line. They're going to be tempted to try and go on the outside of them. And in the process of doing that, they're going to have to take risks. And if they don't come off, they're going to be giving Canberra a lot of possession.
Mogg. Tackled well, centre field from the scrum base. Raiders searching for more points. Tyron Smith down the centre again.
Having a lot of luck through the play the ball there.
Not a lot of luck with ball security. The rangy lock forward, who has visited several clubs, losing the ball. Once already on the ground. You're right, Junior, there's a weakness down the centre.
Well, they're making yards through the centre, not only over the advantage line, but angles, changes of play. And the try actually came through the ruck as well. So South Sydney really need to tighten up in that area.
Move, Jason. Move. You move. There you go. They got that whistle there yet?
Yeah, Tony Archer complaining that his whistle's not loud enough. I'm pretty sure that he's getting a new whistle now.
It's a new P. P in the whistle.
He's very happy he's got a new one, and so are all the players will be able to hear him now.
That's the first interchange of whistle for season 2004. You're blowing the P out of it, Tony Archer.
It's had too much working in the 20-odd rounds.
This is Minicello. It has been a long time since victory for South Sydney. Of course, they had that amazing 34-all draw last week against the Broncos, but 6 successive losses leading into that. Their last victory was round 18, an upset win over the defending premiers, Penrith at Aussie Stadium.
One of the big problems has been, particularly in the back part of the season, has been their poor ball security. They've been in positions to really go on and win games. Against the Cowboys, they should have won that game if they had held on the football. They lost the football in the following week against Manly. Manly gave them a hiding, but it was all because of ball security.
A group fly high. Minicello collects. Minicello will score. They are level at 4.
A knock on and also the onside. That was the last tackle.
It'll be interesting to see the onside was kicked from the dummy half position. And Shane Walker was the man who put the ball up nice and high. That right-hand side, you can see the players pointing out here. Well, that's fine, because everyone is onside. And the next question that was asked by Tony Archer, was this a knock-on? Did it travel forward? Oh, it's very close to me. I'm not too sure, Junior, if it's actually gone forward, gone back. This will tell us there.
Well, that is a tough one. That is a tough one to say whether or not it's travelled forward from that angle. This angle's not going to give us any clearer view. It's definitely touched his chest, touched his hands. I've got to say, I think it did travel forward. So,
look, that's very hard to adjudicate on, because David Thompson, it's hit his hands, and then he's got up nice and high there, and then it looks like it's come back. He's actually gone forward, though.
His momentum was going forward, and I think the ball has travelled forward. I think this will be deemed as a knock-on. But obviously the video ref's not too sure about it. Well, on that particular angle, it looks like he's flopped the ball back. So
I would say this is going to be a try, because what we just seen there was that it's come up his chest, then on to his hands, then the ball's been propelled backwards to Minicello, and he's taken it, and he's in an onside position. This will be a 4-pointer.
Steve Carroll is still undecided, would like to have one more look at that. And our video referee is seeing exactly the same pictures as what you see at home. And if ever there is a case for or against the attacking side receiving the benefit of the doubt, perhaps this could be it.
Yeah, but I think it shows there that the force of hitting his chest first, then his hands, and it propelled the ball back.
Yeah, I think you're right, Wes. I think it's going to go the way of South Sydney. It'll be a try.
A long and nervous wait for a good crowd.
For both of Junior and I too, just quietly.
Oh, we got it right. A try to Mark Minicello. His 6th for the season. Has been good for the Bunnies this year, and we are level at 4.
Well, Joey Williams, he loves putting these kicks up and is very, very accurate with the high kick. Look at the troops coming through. They know that he's going to put it on the spot. Certainly did put it on the spot. Didn't get much protection there, the Canberra players. And David Thompson, unchallenged really in the end, manages to get the ball back. And Mark Minicello comes up with a try.
On his 21st birthday, little Joe Williams lines it up just from the near side of the uprights. Kick is perfect. Flags are up, and South Sydney lead for the first time as we fast approach the quarter-way mark of the contest. A very nervous Matthew Elliott. It is 6-4 in favour of South Sydney.
Yeah, I think he'd be nervous because in the completion rate, the Raiders have only completed 6 sets out of 10. And the South Sydney side have had a bit of same amount of ball, but they've completed 8 out of 10 sets of 6-2. Well, they'll spend a lot more time in their own half there, South Sydney. 59% to the Raiders 41.
Slammed to the ground by Tyrone Smith was Luke Stewart. This is Thompson. Smith aims him up too. Gets a shot on along with Troy Thompson.
Really struggling to get any speed in the play of the ball, Canberra, and as a result, South Sydney, and as a result, Canberra getting up off the line and just pinning them deep in their own territory.
Canberra dominating the ruck, as Wayne said, and really able to turtle the South Sydney players more times than not. Not that occasion. Good quick play the ball. Gives Joe Williams the opportunity of a little more time with the ball to kick. Watts.
Changeover.
And it is changeover.
Not played out.
South Sydney screaming at Tony Archer, claiming it came off a radar, which it did. Tony Archer's ruling was it wasn't played at.
And Tony Archer's got that 100% right.
You got to move.
And there's the penalty given against David Thompson for holding down in the tackle. And you hear Tony Archer once again saying, you've got to move in the play of the ball. You can't just try and roll him on his back and slow it down. And that's what the penalty is given for.
And that's the difference at the moment. South Sydney struggling to slow down Canberra's go forward, struggling to slow down their play the ball, and South struggling to compete against Canberra in that area.
Move.
Towards the 30-metre line, Brad Drew, inside man, Troy Thompson. Certainly running some good angles tonight, the prop forwards. It hasn't been just head down, backside up. Shafosky. Ruben Wiki was used as the decoy there. Shafosky gets it out the back to Josh Miller. He takes the ball downfield the best part of 8 metres. Tackle 3. Wiki. And just short.
Well, they've got to go to the left-hand side, Canberra.
Drew steps off the left foot. Brad Drew. He was denied earlier. No one can deny him points this time.
South Sydney not getting off the line quick enough in defence, not communicating enough either. Brad Drew is capable of stepping and is capable of throwing a good dummy. On this occasion, the work had been done in and around the ruck. The South Sydney players paddling across field, not getting off the line quick enough, not nominating. Drew goes over for what ended up being a simple try.
Yeah, and a great left foot step. He didn't even throw a little bit of a dummy, just set off the left, straight through Brian Fletcher, who didn't come across quick enough. And as you said, Junior, the players of South Sydney not pushing off their line to put pressure on this little man. They were outnumbered on that right-hand side. It's Canberra's left-hand side in attack, right-hand side for the South Sydney in defence. Didn't get off their line quick enough. We put them under all sorts of pressure. Shikoski now looks to add the 2.
It is 10 points to 6. In favour of Canberra, Clinton Shafosky with his first for the night. This is why.
Yeah, there it is, Drew there. He had the numbers out wide. South Sydney anticipated that he was going to spread it wide. They were just paddling across field. In the end, the line was too close, and Drew, very strong, very, very good step, goes through over and scores.
And you just noticed there, John Sutton, just a little bit of an experience there about. He started to drip out to his right-hand side. Then he noticed the little half Drew was going to step off his left and really got caught in no man's land, which put pressure then on Fletcher. On Fletcher, I should say.
4-point leaders, the Canberra Raiders. Jason Croker with a very fast-looking haircut there. Jersey number 6 for the veteran from Crookwell. Hindmarsh plays the ball.
Is that what you call those haircuts now? It's fast.
That is the nice way of putting it. Have you seen Jason Croker on a bench press machine? I will certainly not say anything negative. Edging up towards halfway and being able to make some relatively easy metres. Wolford does it again. Straight down the centre, looking for runners. Finds Shafosky. He is circled by 2 burly forwards in Fletcher and Stewart. A 56-metre gain, and Simon Wolford again asks of South Sydney to get it out of danger and do it the hard way.
We look at the South Sydney players, a lot of them are still walking back on side. They really are feeling the pinch, trying to match the tempo of Canberra, albeit still well and truly in the first half of this match. They're just struggling with the pace of the game.
Yeah, and I think that's where Canberra really got to start to dominate too, Wayne. They're going to put pressure on the South Sydney side, who I believe now will try and play an expansive game of football with plenty of time left in the game, but they're going to try and use the ball as much as possible.
Mark Minicello getting a break. It is cold here in the national capital. It was quite a storm at neighbouring Tuggeranong just 20 minutes prior to kick-off. No sign of the wet stuff here at Canberra Stadium, though. A massive three-quarter line, the Raiders. Guys like Adam Mogg, Joel Monahan, Michael Robertson when he's there. Big, big boys. And certainly used as a big positive for Matthew Elliott. Again, good ball running. Josh Miller, who's had an impact since coming on.
And once again, Andy, it was the inside ball back in through the ruck that caused the problems.
Mogg trying to create a gap of his own down the short side. Drew at first receiver. Then it's Wiki winding up those legs. He will be sorely missed down here. Headed to the Warriors on a long-term deal. Drew, rubbers ahead. A little too long. Well chased, though, by Big Terry Martin.
Yeah, I think the ball needed to be passed there. Drew enough defenders inside. This is the end of the kick that he put in. The referee said, I don't need to look at it. You're already taking the ball over the end goal anyway.
Nervous couple of moments there for Rabbitohs fullback Roy Bell.
He did cover it well, though, didn't he?
He did.
He did a good job.
Big raps on young Roy Bell. Scored 2 tries versus the Broncos last weekend. One of them just brilliant. Made a couple of poor defensive reads and a few fumbles, admittedly, but certainly understandable as a rookie. Was outstanding in the lower grades over the first half of the season. Good pressure put on Willie Manu. Cleans up the scraps at the back. Shane Martini really pressured by Nathan Smith in the defensive side on the right hand for the Raiders. And that is a good result for South Sydney. They need to compose themselves. They have not been playing the brand of football that I dare say Arthur Katinas outlined in the game plan.
Well, I think what young Joe Williams is trying to do is trying to create some opportunities for his outside men, but the right-hand side where he's passing the ball to the defenders on the right side for the Raiders, they're coming up very, very quickly. This is the end of the set of 6 where he's put the lovely kick in and made around about 30 to 40 metres, which is all in good at the end of it. I think he needs to put more pressure on Sikorsky and Nathan Smith. Put the ball in the air.
Monahan. Jersey number 4.
And a big test, Andy, also for the South forwards in this set. Can they muscle up? The Canberra pack has just been rolling over them, getting too much field position, clearing their own line. South need to muscle up and try and stop them in their tracks. Good tackle that by Willie Manu.
Wolford to Drew. Running the angle and popped out the back. They haven't been able to get on a roll as such, the Raiders. This is Thompson trying to create one. Drew. Again, a hole in the middle, a little grubber. Keeps it on the toe. An opportunity out wide for the Raiders. Monahan, somehow the Raiders have scored.
In particular, Jason Croker.
Marshall Chalk is claiming it. We will need a replay to identify exactly how it happened.
Oh, it's a good little piece of play once again. Brad Drew just throwing a little bit of a dummy going down the middle where South Sydney have been struggling in defence. He puts a little kick in and then knows he's got to tow it forward. You can see Roy Bell, he's up. He knows he's got to try and come towards the ball. It's gone past him on the outside. And I must say, the little kick here by Joel Monahan goes up the hands of Marshall. Chalk. I tell you what, that's an extraordinary try how that's ended. Couldn't pass it better. He's used his foot.
No, but once again, it was on the last tackle. South Sydney set for the kick, the long kick out wide. Drew dummies, puts a little short one through. I don't think there's a problem here. I think Marshall Chalk's onside. Great little footwork there. Could have been easy for Monahan to kick the ball too hard, dead in goal, but he managed to somehow to flick it up. Manchester United, have a look at the skills on this bloke here. And Marshall Chalk comes up with the try. I think that'll be a definite try. And great teamwork there. Couple of good kicks and great hands in the end by Chalk to hold on that football.
And it has been the last play option that has been helping out the Canberra side. And here is the decision coming now. Green light.
And it is the Raiders' third for the evening. An advantage of 8 points, kick to come still.
We now know why the Canberra Raiders are really trying to hold it around the middle of the ruck. The big man that you can see there, Thompson, knew that he got caught in defence and up against the little man. But the play here by Monaghan, great work. I think he was just trying actually to tap it forward, and it's just flicked up beautiful for Marshall Chalk to get number 2.
Good night for Marshall Chalk. Batting at 100.
Well, he's had 2 opportunities to come up with 2 tries, so tremendous strike rate for the young fella on the left wing.
Difficult attempt for Clint Shavosky on the good side of the field for a right-hand kicker. There's the angle. Strikes it. It's good. The Raiders extend the lead, 16-6. Just over 11 minutes remaining in the opening half.
Clint Shavosky being put under all sorts of pressure with his kicking, but he's absolutely hit that one sweet, straight down the middle, never looked like missing. Canberra now go out to a 16-6 lead against South Sydney with just under 12 minutes to go in the first half.
We saw the West Tigers go down earlier tonight on Super Saturday to the Newcastle Knights, 26 points to 16. The Tigers, Canberra and Cronulla all went into round 26 on 24 competition points. At very least, the Raiders have their own fate in their own hands.
Don't work him over on the ground. Wait there.
Played a very patient game so far in this match, as we can see there. South Sydney struggling to slow the go forward, struggling to try and contain the speed of the play the ball. But as I mentioned, Canberra playing a very patient game early on. The opportunity starting to unfold as the South Sydney side get tired. I think there's more points in Canberra before the half time.
Ian Hindmarsh getting a rest, and Mark McLinden has been injected into the contest.
And that spells danger for South Sydney with Mark McLinden. Very, very damaging runner out of the dummy half area, and especially 1 or 2 off the ruck off Brad Drew. Could spell some problems for South Sydney.
On for South Sydney, and has been for some time now, Steve Skinner. Croker getting the ball to Safosky. Had 2 men on his right, couldn't get the ball away. Short side, McLinden. McLinden dummied on his outside, went himself. Last tackle. Drew has had success with the boots so far tonight. Smith flies high. Everyone misses it. Somehow. South Sydney stayed in the field of play. It was little Joe Williams, but eventually driven back in goal.
Oh, great kick once again by the little number 7, Brad Drew. Putting the ball up nice and high. The South Sydney players trying to arrive. Joe Williams tries to save the day, but watch out. Here comes Ruben Wiki. He wants to win his last game here. Canberra Stadium cleaned up. Once again, Fletcher asking the question of Tony Archer. He thought he was looking for a 20-metre tap.
16-6 in favour of the Raiders. We have another opportunity at points, and they will not get any easier. And that is a hat-trick for Marshall Chalk.
Marshall Chalk. I thought the tackle was going to be made very easily there by the South Sydney players. And he just strolled through 2 players. They set themselves. They got down nice and low. And Marshall Chalk just hit the accelerator. Here's the dropout. Takes a beautiful catch. Down there on the ground, nice and low. What's this? Oh, terrible defence there by South Sydney. They won't score an easy one with that, Junior.
No, they wouldn't. The unfortunate thing here is the debutant slipped over. Chris Anahoro slips over, and would you believe it? Marshall Chalk, he's had 3 opportunities in attacking zones to run the football. He's come up with 3 tries. Freaky strike rate.
Good night, and a night he will long remember. Marshall Chalk, just his 2nd top-grade game. And capitalising on Chris Anahoro losing his footing on what is traditionally a pretty slippery surface down here on a Saturday night. Scoreline is blown out. And could the Raiders be on the march to the semi-finals? We saw Shavosky kick it from a similar angle earlier. He has made no mistake again. The flags go up. 22-6 in favour of the Green Machine.
Yeah, on this try, Chris Anahoro slips over, but the question is, where's Roy Bell, the fullback? There's no fullback in sight. And in the end, it was a simple run to the line there. Roy got caught short back on the inside. A little bit of inexperience there at the back as well.
I think the inexperience in the sense that he thought that the tackle would be made, so he stayed in the middle of the ruck waiting for the second player. The other one that missed him too, you've got to say, John Sutton. He had a pretty good shot on. He should have even made the tackle. Good tackle, David Thompson.
Speaking of good shots, that was a good one put on by David Thompson on Josh Miller. Mick Linden from acting half. 6 minutes 30 remaining in the opening half. 5 line breaks to 1 and 4 tries to 1 in favour of the Raiders. Missed tackles junior tells a story.
Yeah, it certainly does. It tells you that the South Sydney side aren't communicating, aren't going up as a line, and as a result of that, they're paying the price. The longer this game goes, the more Canberra are going to continue to grind away South Sydney, and the more Canberra are going to put themselves in a very, very strong position for a top 8 finish.
Inside. Some concern shown by the trainers and also by South Sydney's David Thompson of Ruben Wiki following his last hitter. And it would take nothing short of a Mack truck to stop that man playing out tonight's game.
Very, very difficult thing too to go into your last game at a ground that you've been at for 11 years. He's been here since 1993, played all his career here. Heart and soul he's put into the club, and he's going to another club next year. A lot of thoughts going through his mind, and I think up to this point he's been absolutely outstanding. He's had a very, very strong match.
Yeah, emotionally it would be hurting, wouldn't it? The whole build-up of the week, talking to his coach, Matthew Elliott, what he wanted to try and achieve, and that is to win the game number 1, and then the top 8 does come after that. So he does get an opportunity, depending on the results going their way here tonight, Canberra.
A gain of 49 metres, one of South Sydney's better sets. Williams pops it down into the corner. Shavosky forced to play at it, and Clinton Shavosky is going absolutely nowhere.
Now that's more of the Joe Williams that we've seen over the past couple of months, being able to put the ball on a sixpence, pull it up exactly where he wants it. Now it gives South Sydney the first opportunity really to put a sustained set on Canberra for probably the last 20-25 minutes of this match. See what they can do.
News from the South Sydney dressing room. Ashley Harrison has a concussion and will be assessed at half-time, so the Rabbitohs may well be down to just 16.
In fact, this will be the first, so far in this match, South Sydney have not played the ball inside the Canberra 20-metre zone. So gives you an opportunity of just how much territorial advantage Canberra have had. Now South Sydney down here with the ball. Let's see if they can be creative.
That's Skinner. Short side again. Thompson used as the decoy from Sutton. It goes to Brian Fletcher. Good ball. Back to Roy Bell. Bell keeps going. Bell scores.
Knock on.
No! Knocked on. Roy Bell did everything bar claim the points.
Great ball by Brian Fletcher, and then this little man, the number 1, he flew through the hole, and it took that great tackle there of the 2 players. Marshall Chalk, a great hit by one, Sikorsky, that knocked the ball out. That should have been play on. I thought he attacked the football.
With the foot.
Yep, you wouldn't have any argument here, Wiz. And Roy Bell, who scored a double last week in just his 4th top-grade game, denied points. This is Croker. Final 3 minutes before half-time.
Joe!
And South needed that, didn't they? They needed to put some points on the board to stay in touch with the Canberra side. That would have at least taken the 22 points to 6. Here's a mistake that the South Sydney side were looking for.
We saw South Sydney come back to actually move past the Broncos last week. They do have points in them. And a try just before the break, crucial to the overall result tonight. 15 is Willie Manu. Plays the ball 30 metres out from the try line. Thompson just playing the distributor. Skinner looked to get the ball away. His teammates had their back turned. Walker, long ball, Inahoro. It was a mountain of a kid and well contained by Marshall Chalk and Joel Monahan on that left-hand side. Bell. Sutton grabbing across field. Flicks it out the back to Manu. Gets it on one further to Watts. Comes inside. Finds the line. South Sydney collect their second for the night. It is not over just yet. And perhaps dangerous signs South Sydney, Gary, have not spent a lot of time down this end of the field.
And it went back to the original mistake here, carting the ball up. It was Josh Miller. Gets the ball knocked free, and then South Sydney spread the ball to their left-hand side. They've had a lot of luck on this left-hand side tonight, come up with a few breaks out here, and it was great work there by the 5'8", Johnny Sutton. Pops the ball up, flicks it out the back, spreads it wide. Brad Watts, he had a lot of work to do there to finish that up with a try in the end. Adam Mogg wasn't strong enough, but he managed to come up with a try.
It was, and I'll tell you one player that needed to come up with a tackle at the end of it is Clinton Tchaikovsky. He's coming across in defence. You'll see him come in the picture just there. He steps inside, does Brad Watts, the South Sydney winger, and gets the ball down. Tchaikovsky probably should have made that tackle, but it's a try that they much need before half-time.
22 career tries for Brad Watts. And little Joe Williams from wide out, 23 metres back, about 30 centimetres in from touch. And hasn't struck this one well at all. To the left of the uprights it goes. And the difference remains 2 converted tries. 22-10, just before half-time in favour of the Canberra Raiders.
Yeah, that's the first time we've really seen John Sutton do something with the ball when they've gotten in some sort of position to attack the Canberra line. He's running across the field, waiting for someone to come out of the line to pop the ball. Good flick pass, and then his backup by his outside men, that's created the opportunity for his winger Brad Watts to come up with the try.
The other guy that deserves a rap in that too is Willie Manu. He managed to put a long cut-out pass on to give the space for the try to be created as well.
Plenty of enthusiasm shown by David Thompson, the final play of the opening half. The siren has sounded. It is Canberra 22, South Sydney 10. In total, it is 4 tries to 2. On Ruben Wickey's farewell, will that emotion play a part? We will find out in the final 40 minutes. Welcome back to Canberra Stadium. Marshall Chalk with a hat-trick, an opening half hat-trick in just his second top-grade NRL appearance, and he has certainly helped the Canberra Raiders to a 12-point halftime lead. It is 22 points to 10 as we welcome you back to Canberra Stadium, a very cold Canberra Stadium as well. They are rugged up and plenty of support for Ruben Wickey, Luke DeVico and the departing Raiders. But the concern for Matthew Elliott, Wayne Pearce, is that the Raiders are only leading by 12. And South Sydney have shown in recent weeks they have points in them.
Well, they have got points in them. What South Sydney have struggled with is they've struggled with field position. The ball that they've had primarily has been down their end of the field. They've spent a lot of time coming off their line. They still haven't played the ball in Canberra's 20-metre zone yet. So they still haven't really played the ball down near the Canberra line. But they've still been able to come up with points, and it all goes well for them if they can get a decent share of possession in good field position.
And here come the Raiders back out onto home territory. It has been a busy night for Ruben Wickey. His numbers both offensively and defensively again good. He's been outshone really by Troy Thompson, who has been nothing short of superb since starting on the bench. Brad Drew scored a try in his farewell game. And a lot to play for South Sydney as well. They are trying to avoid the wooden spoon. at Canberra Stadium. It is 22 points to 10 as we get ready for the second half of action. Round 26 action. The Raiders came into this round in 9th position on the competition ladder and with a faint hope of semi-final football. The home side will be running right to left on your screen for the final 40 minutes. 16 is Terry Martin. Again, Wolford moves into the acting half area. Croker on the right, Monahan on the left. He opts for the latter. Big, strong centre three-quarter, brother of Manly Seagulls captain Michael. Drew. Wiki running at the angle. Has been well contained tonight. And gets up with a look of pain on the face, big Ruben Wiki.
Dominant left, John Hall.
Last tackle, a gain of 35 metres. Drew with a well-placed kick. It goes in between Brad Watts and Roy Bell. Watts, who is also familiar at fullback, fields the footy. A late inclusion into the side due to the injury of Wes Tillett as Ruben Wiki heads to the bench.
He must have got a big hit in that last tackle. And the trainers are now going to making sure that he gets off, get him replaced. Doesn't look like he looks like he's got a leg injury. Straight up the tunnel he's going to go. So plenty of pressure here now for the Canberra side.
In fact, as South Sydney get up over the 30-metre line, Ruben Wiki wasn't taken to the bench. He is headed straight back to the dressing room. Let's hope this isn't the way it ends for Ruben Wiki on home soil. Gain of 40 metres. A better set from South Sydney. Just outside the 40. Joe Williams. Shafosky lets it hit him in the midsection. Then plays at the footy.
Keep coming, Willie.
South Sydney have started a high majority of their attacking raids deep inside their own red zone, which has limited the variety and the confidence in which they can play the game. It has been very much one-out stuff, very little second-phase football for the Bunnies. They've been forced into that by pretty determined Raiders outfit. Changeover right on halfway. That's better field position. Short side they go through Manu. His impact hasn't been as significant as he is renowned for tonight.
Well, the problem's been for South, as we pointed out, they haven't spent enough time down this end of the field. They're starting to get themselves now into a decent position. They've shown by scoring 2 tries from long-range tries, if they get down in the line, they're a chance of putting more points on the board. Now, there's the completion rates there. Pretty good for both sides, given the conditions. It's very breezy out there at the moment. But the area that South Sydney have let themselves down in is missed tackles. Have a look at that. 21 missed tackles for South versus only 10 for the Rabbitohs. That's the area they've got to tighten up in.
Williams, across field, into the air he goes. And just too much on it from Joe Williams. Brad Watts had a leap at it.
I think Joe Williams has got to now start to take the line on. If he wants to get his side on the scoreboard, there's the kick here, just a little bit too much. He needs to take the line on, go forward, take some runners with him, look for balls inside and out, and put some pressure on the Canberra forward. Something similar to what Brad Drew was doing in the first half against South Sydney.
It is also Arthur Katrinas' last game in charge of the top grade. He will assist the Bomber, Sean McRae, in 2005 at South Sydney. Shafosky. Thompson would not budge.
And that's the area where South let themselves down in the first half. Out of marker, round dummy half, also the inside balls.
Thompson to Martin. Last tackle, a gain of right on half the field. Wolford punches it in behind the line. Pressure. And Garthwood is trapped in goal. Big Joel Monahan, along with Marshall Chalk, really charging down on the wing three-quarter, along with Mark McLinden. And their enthusiasm levels are high. So they should be. The Raiders are playing for a position in the postseason.
Yeah, tremendous kick there by Simon Wolford, jumping out of the dummy half area. His little number 7 was calling for Brad Drew, but bravery for Wood. Put his body on the line to save it there for South Sydney.
Skinner, Smith and Fletcher Good strong tackle on Shaw. Hit heavily was Josh Miller. One of a good breed of youngsters that have come through the grades here at Canberra. Thompson, a desperate tackle there. McLinden. And it was all too easy for Mark McLinden, who betters his position by the best part of 20 metres and gives the Canberra Raiders an advantage of 16 points still with the kick to come. And a good start to the second half for the Green Machine.
Oh, Mark McLinden, just too much pace, gets on the outside of his man. Brad Drew going to the line. Just watches Shane Martini, just holds off just a fraction. And he gets on the outside of him, and then Roy Bell just stops dead. He actually forgot who he was going to take and grabs an extra 10 to 15 metres to go behind the post.
Yeah, Shane Martini on the inside dropped off on that occasion. Normally a very solid defender, Shane Martini. Lack of communication in defence. He thought the outside defender was going to shut him down, but McLinden, very, very quick. When he comes on off the bench as well, even sharper, because when the opposition's tired, he looks so much quicker.
Certainly, again, had an impact off the bench, Mark McLinden. Shafosky kicking at 75% so far. And the flags go up once again for Clinton Shafosky. 3 converted tries is the difference. It is 28-10.
And once again, South Sydney could not contain Canberra when Canberra got down there deep near their line. They're really struggling to stop Canberra on their line. And that's been, ironically, that's been Canberra's weak link this year, is when they've been getting down in the opposition line, they haven't been coming up with the points. Tonight, virtually every time they've got down there, they've come up with the points.
Josh Miller, certainly a young bloke with plenty of go in him. Humps those legs, showing no regard for self-preservation. This is Thompson. Raiders losing a couple of players at the end of the year, as we've illustrated over the course of the commentary. Coming on to board the Howell brothers from St George, Jason Smith, Matt Adamson and Craig Frawley.
Keep coming, Steve.
Sloppy play the ball, Jason Croker. He has been penalised for it. It will be a scrum. South Sydney's loose and feed.
Well, this will be one of the few times in the opening 10 minutes of the second half. They've had an opportunity now, South Sydney. I just wish Joe William would start taking control of this game. If he does that, then things should certainly turn around.
Clinton, you got to line up. Got to line up, mate. Wait there. Wait there. There's your mark.
South Sydney now with the opportunity to hit back. Raiders very much on the back foot. Manu. Solid stuff from the headgear twins, Thompson and Martin. Skinner has dropped the ball absolutely cold.
First one off South, then Tyron Smith knock on.
Tackle number 1, crucial mistake for South Sydney.
Let's go.
And plenty of interchanges left for both sides.
Be disappointed with that. Skinner, he's very, very solid around the ruck. He always takes the ball forward and a double knock on there. The Raiders will receive the ball.
Let's wait for the second. Heads in, ball in, out. 2 hands, that's fine, Brad.
And the news just coming in from the Canberra dressing room is Ruben Wiki has a left ankle injury. They will not confirm the nature of the industry, but we can tell you there is plenty of worried medical staff, and it is unlikely at this point in time that Ruben Wiki will not be back. What a massive blow that is, Wiz.
It certainly is. He's an inspirational leader, and I must say that young Miller, Josh Miller in the 15, has gone on. He's done the work of what Ruben Wiki would, taking the ball forward. Now they go wide, the Canberra Raiders.
McLinden has already had an impact, 4 points on the contest. Last tackle, a gain of 45 to Drew. Up he goes. A test for Bell at the back. He stands his ground, the little bloke. Makes a couple, makes more than 1 or 2 metres. 1-on-1 with Shafosky. Let's see how quick you are. Finds Garth Wood, puts a step on. Good football from South Sydney. And the opportunity at points. Walker, Williams. Oh, and knock on. They had to show an element of desperation, but they had to be controlled in doing it.
Well, they did. That beautiful play there by Roy Bell. Garth Wood picked him up in support. The opportunity was on the left-hand side. It was just a matter of catching and passing and going to the line, but Joey Williams forced the pass, sloppy pass in the end, uncharacteristic for Williams, and the ball had been put to ground.
I think that sums up Joe Williams' game here tonight, Junior. He really hasn't taken the line on once in the first half or even in the second half so far. He's got to start going to the line, put the pressure on the opposition, make the decision to make the tackle. Oh, what a great kick.
Well, that's a 40-20. That is a 40-20. Fantastic. He was under pressure, had the charge downs coming through on him. In these conditions, you can have a look there. He's 30 metres out from his own line. Had the pressure put on him, yet managed to get the kick in, evade the winger, and, well, that's a turning point. That will turn the game further in favour of Canberra.
That's a 51-metre kick from Simon Woolford, the Yosemite Sam of the NRL. In fact, he's been on his best behaviour with the referees so far tonight, but just blowing up at his teammates.
Well, he's barking instruction because he's pumped, because he knows if they can come up with a try from this set and just gradually continue to grind Souths away, they'll grab that top 8 spot.
Another attacking opportunity. McLinden got on the outside of his man. So too Monahan. Guess who? Marshall Chalk collects 4. What a night!
And I tell you what, put it down to Mark McLinden. The kick, of course, from Woolford got them in that beautiful position, got them the 40-20. They had the scrum. It was the first play off the scrum. They went 2 passes wide to Mark McLinden. Here is the kick that got them the ball back. Tremendous work, Simon Woolford, and he does get a beautiful bounce. Evades the winger on that left-hand side. Now, just like Mark McLinden, steps off his left, off his right, I should say, then picks up Monahan, and who's there? Marshall Chalk once again. Too much pace.
Well, it was great work because McLinden showed the ball on the inside. That stood up the defenders. Then he went across field, created the overlap situation. And this kid, how many tries does he love scoring? Let me tell you, that's 4 times tonight he's had the ball in attacking positions, 4 tries.
And his second game, and what's even scarier, since coming into the competition in 1982, the record tries in a match goes to a fella by the name of Malcolm Norman Meninga, who scored 5 tries against the Roosters here in 1990, and Marshall Chalk in his second game is on the verge of eclipsing a legend. Shafosky, oh, not a lot in it. It is a good advantage with just under half an hour remaining, 32 points to 10. And it looks like the Raiders are headed to semi-final football.
You just tell the inexperience of the players, South Sydney, when they are defending, not going up quick enough. They are very, very happy, the 2 young guys on this left-hand side, Monahan and Chalk. That's what they've got to do, Junior. They've got to start using the ball more.
Yeah, but what it does now is it puts them in a situation they don't have to push passes. They've got a huge break. Souths look very, very tired. Canberra are gaining momentum. They're getting over the advantage line. They're creating space. They don't have to push passes. And if they continue just to play a solid game, then they're going to win this game by a big margin, and that will put them in the 8.
Easy metres up the centre, and this is certainly not the note South Sydney wanted to finish the season on. It has been a year they have struggled, both on and off the field. Drew puts it downfield, misread by Roy Bell, who is back in his zone in goal, and here come the Raiders. And lost. South Sydney, in 3 of the last 5 sets, have not got to the second tackle.
And would you put money on the ball going out to Marshall Chalk to get number 5 here today? I would say so. Same sort of play, except the way that they will defend here, South Sydney, that'll be the interesting way they do line up. Last time, Roy Bell went to the wing.
I'll have a look at that then, Simon, so let's get on with the game. Let's get on with the game. Let's get in. Ball in.
Come on, Simon, be happy. Here is a 7-all. Monahan bumps off one, heads back centre field. Marshall Chalk on his outside saying, what about me? Within 4 metres. Drew. Smith. Tackle number 3.
Watch Marshall Chalk on the inside.
Croker! We have seen the finesse from the Raiders. There is the pure strength. Jason Croker scores their 7th as Ruben Wiki and Luke DeVico watch on. And the Raiders are looking at 8th place on the NRL ladder.
Yeah, well, South Sydney making too many mistakes near their own line. On this occasion, Roy Bell comes up with a mistake, and it was power in the end from Jason Croker. Very, very strong player. And South Sydney been unable to stop the Canberra side near their line tonight. Every time Canberra's got down there to come up with points. Ruben Wiki in his last game on the sideline watching, but he'll be delighted to know that the more margin they get, the closer they're going to be going to securing that top 8 spot. And Jason Croker, his 4th try for the season. And what a haircut. That is a but I would say a very strong haircut rather than a fast haircut.
Anything positive is fine by me with Toots Croker. In the days of the mid to late 90s, to come down as a young journalist and watch David Furner and Jason Croker on the bench press machine in Canberra was something absolutely amazing. Clinton Shavosky adds the extras. He's had a good night with the boot, 5 from 7. And it is 38 points to 10. One man not smiling is that man, Ruben Wiki, who was choked up on emotion when we came into the ground about 2.5 hours before kickoff. And there is the ankle, hidden underneath the satin blanket.
Well, here's the injury, and looked pretty simple in the end. But obviously some sort of damage done to the ankle in that. And it's remarkable how some innocuous-looking tackles end up to be quite serious injuries.
The 16, again is Terry Martin. There's been more structure in the Raiders game in this second half, and the scoreline illustrates that.
Whilst they've scored a lot of points out wide tonight, particularly on their left-hand side, there's through the ruck with the inside passes over the advantage line that they've been able to make the yards. Once again here, through the ruck, South Sydney have not been able to contain Canberra, and when they've got them backpedaling, that's when they've given the outside backs the opportunity to score the points.
A deep kick. Roy Bell, again asked to work for his paycheck tonight. Chalk and Monaghan have been extremely aggressive, a controlled aggression, if you like, defensively, and have hounded Chris Enahoro, Garth Wood and Roy Bell all night long.
Well, I think just once they know that the kick's going to be put in, that they have a good line chasing down, something they haven't had for the last couple of games. And that's why they've come off in the last 4 outings, 4 losses in a row. They've certainly put it together here tonight with 38 points to 10 so far.
News from the Canberra bench. We saw Ruben Wiki down there, and they fear it could be a fractured left fibula for Ruben Wiki. And as you said, in the most simple of circumstances, there was no heavy contact. He was untouched when the injury occurred. Disappointing for Big Rubes.
Well, it'll be disappointing for himself knowing that maybe the Canberra side have an opportunity to get into the top 8, and his football certainly hadn't finished before he goes to the Warriors next year.
I hope they've got a car lined up for the parade lap at the end, because we could be here until 5:30 in the morning waiting for Ruben to limp around.
Well, mate, I don't think anyone will leave.
No.
Just quietly, I don't think they will be leaving.
Tackle number 3, 3/4 way mark of the contest. O'Hara again solid. That is 10th hit up of the night. Hindmarsh after a spell. Wolford, who has had some success with the boot tonight, pops it over the top. Not a lot of success this time. Shane Martini doing very well there in gathering the ball over his head.
It just mixing his game up with the little kick over the top. The wingers and the fullback, they're all very, very deep. When you got the ball back, there was some opportunities there. Little man on screen's had a solid game around that ruck area.
The 6 is Sutton. An easy target there for Mick Linden. Bell to Williams. Long ball, good ball. Brad Watts has set sail for the line. Brad Watts is into touch.
Great tackle, Tchaikovsky coming across in cover. Tremendous effort. Brad Watts is a flying machine. He showed it on the outside, and then he took a ball by Joe Williams. A few opportunities that the South Sydney have had, and he lets him show on the outside, takes a beautiful tackle around the legs, and McLennan just comes to finish it off.
Yeah, very good defensive work by Clinton Tchaikovsky. Difficult man to get around.
2 hands this time, Brad. 2 hands. 2 hands on the ball. Because I told you so. That's the rule. Put it in. Put it in.
Little lesson in the rules to Brad Drew, who might be able to get away with that in the UK next year.
What does it matter if he has 2 hands or 1 hand? He's still going to put it in the second row anyway, and that's not a rule. But play on, I say, play on. Actually, had that rule back with us. Play fair.
Yeah, so let's put it in the second row. Wiz, don't worry about that.
You got it half the time, Junior.
The Canberra Raiders, it has been a dominant display. They have had a lot more time with the football than their opponents tonight. Some 57% of the footy has been in the hands of the Green Machine, and their opponents have been asked to make the best part of 50 more tackles. And that fatigue is certainly starting to wear in. So O'Hara drives it up towards halfway. Last tackle, gain of 34, Mick Linden. Quite happy to play the territorial game. And again, too much on the kick. Slippery surface, the ball certainly skids.
And I think it just shows, after losing Ashley Harrison, there, the South Sydney side, that he's been one of their best players all season, defensively, taking the ball to the line and showing some sort of opportunities for his outside men. He's been sorely missed here tonight. And he could have been the big difference after that first high tackle by Wolford.
Well, what he does was he tidies up a lot in defence. He's their top tackler. He's the guy that makes more line breaks than anyone else. So, yeah, he is their key man. He's been their outstanding performer on a consistent basis all season. No one else has stood up tonight to the Canberra forwards. And as a result, Joey Williams and the backs have had no room to move.
Former international and Fox Sports commentator Laurie Daly wrote an article in Big League this week saying Ashley Harrison would be in his team of the year, and that Ashley Harrison, in Laurie's eyes, has certainly shown that he is capable of taking the next step to state of origin football. And from what we've seen of the former Bronco this year, it'd be hard to disagree, in his absence from this South Sydney side has been felt tonight.
I think his attitude to the game is a lot different too. He's willing to do the little things and the hard things that he's worked on in the off-season that have been so beneficial for him in 2004.
Here we go again. This time it's Adam Mogg. And that is Canberra's 8th try for the night. They are dominating South Sydney. It wasn't a spectacular performance the opening 40 minutes, but they have kicked on and kicked on in style.
Yeah, simple one-on-one miss on this occasion, and Canberra really starting to click. Adam Mogg's been dangerous for most of the season. It was a one-on-one miss in the end. On the inside, it was Joe Williams. On the outside, Shane Martini. He went between the two of those guys. Got a good set of speed, or good set of legs, I should say, in terms of speed. Very, very quick. Manages to pick the hole, accelerates, lack of communication once again there, Wiz, and he finds his way to the try line.
Yeah, well, I'm not a big fan of the halves up defending against the bigger, strong centres. I just think that his position is around that ruck area, the 5'8". John Sutton should have been marking him. Tchaikovsky adds the 2. But once again, a tackle that should have been made 40 metres back from the South Sydney's try line.
And an emotional moment, and no doubt a moment they would have liked to have kept private. But it is live around Australia, Rubes, and I don't think anyone would think any less of you if a tear was shed tonight. What a horrible way to go out to a club and a ground that he has just served so well.
I mean, you see him as a rough and tumble footballer out there, but he's a real gentleman of the game. He's a guy that's always got time for the spectators, always courteous to the fans, but he plays the game as hard as anyone out there, and it's a real shame that he hasn't been, not going to be able to be out there to finish this match.
It's great to see his wife go down there, isn't it? Santa. go down there. His mum's here. Like I said, we always said it before, a very, very emotional time for the Wiki family.
Shafosky putting a step on and around his man. Shafosky has split them. Nowhere to go for the fullback now. Walker and Manu taking him to the ground right on halfway. McLinden, Tyron Smith, 8 tries in total, 4 of them going to Marshall Chalk, who is hoping to equal the record set by Mal Meninga of 5. Most tries in a match for the Raiders. They have gone the short side and an opportunity. Drew, Monahan and Bell.
Keep getting. I got it. You got to keep him down, Marshall.
Marshall Chalk, just a fraction eye, just a reaction. Nothing much in that. Roy Bell just copping over the top. Ball back inside Mark McLinden, not even looking. Showing a little respect there for the South Sydney side. Just a grab. Nothing else will happen after that.
Just helping him with his headgear. It's Marshall Chalk on little Roy Bell. And will there be a little bit of concern over the next 48 hours as it looks like the Raiders are headed to the semi-finals with that tackle on report from Simon Wolford in the opening couple of minutes. Simon's record at the judiciary is not a good one.
Yeah, I think there may be.
Here goes Williams. Gets past Shafosky. There defensively was Terry Martin. Walker across field. Playing with a bit of width to Brian Fletcher. Enahoro finds Wood. And he is pulled back by Marshall Chalk. Ryan O'Hara somehow got there. Going himself is Mark Minicello.
The grounding, man, that is tackle 4.
And that will be Minicello's double.
I think Mark Minicello scored this fair and square. He jumped out of the marker position. The Canberra Raider players looking at the man that was coming one off the ruck, and they just snuck out very quickly. He's worried about the grounding. Oh, that's fine. I won't even have to see that twice, Junior.
No, I think he's got control of the football there. Doesn't worry me at all. But I thought it was great work by Mark Enahoro to get into the open space to create the opportunity. The ball is still in his grasp as far as I'm concerned. Don't have a problem with that at all.
Look, their backs have looked quite dangerous when they've got the ball in their hand. As you said, John Sutton, Chris Enahoro. You know, they've got some of these young kids that have been given an opportunity, and they'll be all better for their football throughout this year and to come into next year under a new coach.
But Gary, you said it perfectly earlier on. Yes, they've got some talent out wide, and they've got some young and very exciting players, but the forwards have not been able to contain nor control the Canberra forwards tonight. South Sydney haven't been able to play with that width.
Look, the big thing about this game here, it would be very hard for South Sydney to turn up here. The only thing in their minds is probably not to try and get the wooden spoon, but that's not the way to play rugby league. You've got to turn up week after week, trying to win the game that is in front of you straight away. And going back on the bus tonight, it may be a long trip back.
A double for Mark Minicello tonight. They remain 30 points behind the Canberra Raiders. Joe Williams strikes this one nicely, and over it goes. 28 the difference, 44-16. And Ruben Wiki being put in a temporary cast. A night that he probably would have liked to enjoy a few cold ones. I dare say will be spent in the emergency ward undergoing a few CT and X-rays. He tries to 3.
Stay behind.
Well, the great thing is nowadays players get treatment immediately straight into ice packs as soon as they can into physio, and the rehab time is a lot less than it used to be. As Canberra offside from the kickoff, South Sydney get a penalty on halfway.
2 metres was the call. And every chance of it, and it was big Ryan O'Hara. What a mistake from South, although the flag goes up.
Yep, up here. It's a tap. Tap restart.
It is a tap restart. The foot was already on the line.
On the line. Have a look. Way you go.
There it is, Joe Williams.
He's already on the line, mate.
Leapt from the line.
Yeah, from the line, that's fair. The touch has got that correct. He was already out.
Minicello already has a double tonight.
Stand up.
11 minutes remain. Sutton. Short ball to Bell. Roy Bell crosses. That is South Sydney's fourth. South Sydney fans go up, and just perhaps the Tigers fans, blindly optimistic as they might be, think there could be a hope.
I don't think they'll win this match, but what they're showing is that when they get possession, and the possession comes from the penalty from the kickoff and the ensuing scrum that they get the feed, but they've only had limited possession down on the Canberra line. The times they've had possession down there, they've come up with tries. On that occasion, Roy Bell hits a yawning gap. Good little ball by Johnny Sutton to put him into the hole, but it was a yawning gap there on the fringe of the Canberra rucks. And would you believe that in this game, South Sydney have only had 7 play the balls down inside the Canberra 20, and they've come up with 4 tries as the 2 points is added by Joe Williams.
Another interchange being made by Matthew Elliott onto the field. Returning is Josh Miller. And Ryan O'Hara gets a stint. Matthew Elliott with Wayne Collins behind him, assisting coach.
Yeah, Matthew Elliott, I don't think he'd be happy with that defensive pattern there that the Canberra Raiders did put on. He was pretty certain that Ryan O'Hara will be 10 metres back, or he'll be back on the bench. That's how far we got to the kickoff now.
In fact, Ryan O'Hara is off the field.
Well, that's what I said.
And South Sydney showing no great desire to get to the footy early and making the job of Luke Stewart that much more difficult. He got smashed by the Raiders defence. All a little too late for the Bunnies. Fletcher pops it out the back. Walker forced to dive on it. No metres made. Skinnon. Tackle number 4 for South Sydney. Just under 9 minutes remain. Step off the right. South tonight doing it without Ahmed Bajuri, Mark Meredith, Todd Polglaze, the McDougall brothers, Adam and Luke, Paul Stringer, Shane Rigon, Lee Hookey. Of course, had Terry Hill retire pre-season, so it has been a difficult year for both Paul Langmack and then Arthur Katinas.
Arthur's put off some good wins though, hasn't he? One against Melbourne, one against Manly, against Penrith was a champion win when they won 30 points to 6. And started way back with the West Tigers with a 17-16 win against them there.
It has been a lean couple of months, the final couple of months. And a difficult period for Brian Fletcher.
Well, I think everyone came here with big expectations of South Sydney, especially with the way that they played against Brisbane last week, and coming up with a draw, even going into extra time, 34 points all. And I just thought they would have come here to perform a little bit better.
What a super Saturday it has been. Final place in the race for the semi-finals decided right here on your sports leader. Tigers out of the race. The Sharks out of the race, and the Raiders with just 7.5 minutes to go and an advantage of 22 will play finals football again.
3, Brian. 3.
Big concern over Ruben Wiki, and you would have to say it would seem at this stage highly unlikely that Ruben will be contesting the semi-finals. Simon Wolford perhaps also in doubt. Shafosky has made a clean break and is simply too good for Roy Bell. That is try number 9. A fitting farewell for Luke DeVico, Ruben Wiki and company from Canberra Stadium.
And it's been disappointing for South Sydney fans. The defence around the ruck really has been found wanting once again. Shafosky steps off that left foot, just goes straight through Walkett's tackle, Minicello's tackle, and Roy Bell just found himself in no man's land. Just watch this, bang, 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 steps off, goes forward. Really a lack of commitment there by those two players. They just wish this game was over. Roy Bell, he had to make some sort of effort on Shafosky. I know he's very hard to defend against, but you've got to go forward to make the tackle.
South Sydney's inconsistency, not only from week to week, almost at times from play to play. They can look just so impressive and so enthusiastic at times, but at others they can look very ordinary. That's 50 for the Green Machine. 50 points to 22, and Matthew Elliott by now knows that Mad Monday will not begin this Monday.
Nervous wait though for that man on screen. I wonder what the judiciary will look at it and how they will view that tackle. He was saying in the call, he got him with his shoulder. He's a vital part to their side too, Andy. He has got to play. If there are any chance of winning next week in the first semi-final, he has to play.
Correct, Simon Wilford certainly has to be there. We restart play, 9 tries to 4. Defence still somewhat of a concern for Matthew Elliott and his team of Terry Madison, Wayne Collins and company. Let's head down to the sideline. Wayne Pearce has made the trek down. He's got a very interesting guest with him.
Tremendous performance, Ruben, by the Raiders tonight, but obviously really disappointing for you not to be able to finish your last match here at the stadium.
Yeah, for sure, Junior. You know, just one of those things that happens in football. You know, the boys have done the job, but you know, kind of disappointed, but that's the way it goes.
Mark McLinden.
Yes, they're going for another try. Let's have a look at this.
Sorry, Ruben. It may be your night, but the Raiders are celebrating a long-range try. The Raiders' 10th, Mark McLinden, puts his name amongst the scorers, and the Raiders have hit form at the right time of the year.
Well, they've come up against a side that should have made this tackle once again. Nice long ball out to Nathan Smith, and then they just kept promoting the ball. And what you got to say about South Sydney, their defence was a little bit lacklustre. And once the ball was in this man's hands, Mark McLinden, there was no one in South Sydney that was going to stop him. Tremendous pace, and he adds the 2.
56-22. Our apologies to Wayne Pearce and Ruben Wiki. We'll head back down to the sideline.
And Ruben, right on cue, as if to salute you there. Mark McLinden goes over for yet another try. Tell us a bit about your ankle. What do you think the problem is?
It might be a fractured fibula, but we're going to have some x-rays tonight at the hospital, so hopefully it's nothing major, so I cross my fingers.
It looks so innocuous out there. It looked very, very simple.
Yeah, it did, mate. Kind of got stuck on an awkward tackle in the first half, but first hit up and kind of felt it go, so take a bit of precaution. Hopefully it's nothing serious.
And one last thing, just at half-time there, obviously the results went the right way for you in the earlier match with the Tigers losing to Newcastle. Was there any talk at half-time about just what was going to happen in the second half, what could happen?
I think we just wanted to concentrate and finish off strong, you know, and we weren't really worried about the result with Newcastle, but, you know, it came our way, so hopefully we're in the 8 now, so hopefully the boys can finish off strong today.
Congratulations on a tremendous career here, and I'm sure you're going to make the most of it over at the Warriors.
Thanks, Jim.
McLinden over the top, Monahan gets the bounce, Croker is on his inside, Marshall Chalk was there, arms waiting, saying give it to me, give it to me. It even puts a smile on the face of Matty Elliott. Jason Croker, the most cap raider of all time, he scored a few tries and wanted this one for himself.
Well, I just wondered, he'd played with the big man, Mel Meninga, and one did he know that he had scored 5. A tremendous bounce here. Monahan puts himself in perfect position along with this man here, Croker. He thought about giving it, no, yes, no, I'll score it myself.
The ironic part is Marshall Chalk has played the whole night out on the left wing. He's gone infield looking for the ball, and it's come out to where he was.
I was watching him, I thought, oh no. Anyway, the man with the best haircut in Canberra, Jason Croker, will he add the 2?
He is lining it up, Toots Croker. Too good. In 272 games, that is Jason Croker's first goal to go along with 114 tries. It is a smashing in the national capital, 62-22.
Great to see Matthew Elliott down there with Ruben Wiki, just consoling the big front rower. saying that we'll get it all checked out and we'll worry about it a little bit later. He's been very happy with the way his team has played here tonight. And just now, nearly 1 minute to go in this game, and the scoreline 62 points to 22. Canberra absolutely smashing South Sydney, and the fans, I'd say, Andy, they'd be looking maybe for one more try.
When is enough? It is 11 tries to 4, 62 points have been scored by Canberra tonight. And the second start winding down.
Ball down.
A drop ball. That will end the Raiders scoring for the night. South Sydney less than enthusiastic to get to the scrum.
Well, I don't think anyone will get to the scrum. It could be the longest one in the history of rugby league. 21 seconds to go. No one really looks like they want to even get down. Well, maybe an opportunity for, there it is, farewell Ruben, 1993 to 2004. And destruction is right.
A decade of destruction.
So true.
So true. And there have been hundreds of bruised bodies across the premiership to prove it. The siren sounds. The Raiders are alive in 2004. They will play semi-final football. They have beaten South Sydney 62 points to 22. What a night for the Green Machine. Even beyond their wildest expectations, an 11 try to 4. Absolute demolition. Ruben Wiki, it certainly didn't end the way he would have liked. Nor for Luke DeVico. Let's go down on the sideline. A very happy coach, Matthew Elliott, is with Wayne Pearce.
Well, as they say, it's never over until the fat lady sings. And let me tell you, you probably thought it was over last week with your loss, but you live again.
Yeah, when we lost to the Roosters, I guess I was disappointed that we were relying on winning that game, to be honest with you. We've been in a position to win a lot more games this year and come up short. So it's nice to get the opportunity to play in the postseason and hopefully do something that we can be proud of, because the regular season hasn't been fantastic.
But it wasn't just a matter of winning the game tonight, it's the fashion with which you won the match.
Yeah, I thought that initially the opposition played quite strong, and we had to grind them out for a while. I guess it's all tempered by the fact that it looks like Ruben's broken his leg, so it's not really the way I wanted to see him out, but his contribution while he's out there was phenomenal as usual.
Would have been tough at half-time too, knowing that you're in control of the game, but not knowing how much you had to win the game by to secure that top 8 spot.
We weren't really bothered about the other game, to be honest. We're not doing that well where we can start talking about how many points we need to score. We needed to focus on the things that we're doing well, and we were still a bit dusty defensively in a couple of areas, and we still got a bit of work to do. We're playing, either the Roosters or the Bulldogs next week, which is just a phenomenal, massive challenge.
But one thing that you're really going to be proud of tonight is the way your forwards stood up. They really did lay a huge platform out there.
Yeah, they did. I'm really pleased with them. And Marcel Chalk playing his second game of first grade should have got 5 tries, but Jason Croker's too greedy for that.
You got any more of those blokes heading away, because he's come from nowhere?
We've got a lot of really good young talent in the club, and that's what we're excited about. But hopefully we get to get excited for one more week. And as I say, we've got a big challenge, and we might have to roll someone else out, eh?
Good luck for the finals.
Thanks, Junior.
Very happy, Matthew Elliott, and why shouldn't he be? It was a dominating performance, 62-22, and much of the reason was Marshall Chalk in just his second game. 4 tries, Wizard.
Absolutely outstanding stuff, the kid. Put himself in position to score every single try. Even up to the last one where Jason Croker scored it, he could have got it himself. Perfect position for the kid in his second game.
3 first-half tries. Even Ruben Wiki with a broken leg was highly impressed. Let's take a look at the score summary. And let me get a breath in before we go through the try scorers. For the Raiders, Chalk 4, Mick Linden in limited time 2, Croker 2, Drew, Mogg and Schafosky 1 each, Schafosky 8 from 10, Croker 1 from 1, South Sydney 22 points, a double to Mark Minicello, Watson Bell and Joe Williams 3 from 4 with the boot. What a night here at Canberra Stadium, live around Australia on Main Event Channel. The Canberra Raiders thanking their fans, and why not? They are playing finals football. It has been an incredible Super Saturday, a Super Saturday that the finals have been decided. It is farewell Ruben from the national capital, but the Raiders live on in 2004.